You have now clocked into another episode of the Part-Timers podcast.
Sorry, this is a sidetrack. Have you not seen Donald Trump's latest interview?
He
He was somewhere saying, "Yeah, I could still win the election if something happens." We're like, big man, that was like 4 weeks ago. It's over, guy.
Nah,
It's finished. Don't cry, don't beg.
He wants to take it to the court so it can be postponed.
I can't lie. When this guy isn't in charge of the country, in charge of US, I love this guy, bro.
It's gonna be lit. Nah, I can't lie.
Hilarious. Bro.
He's gonna be the most entertaining post-president campaign you've ever seen. Obama was just there doing dinners and a couple of things here and there. We ain't really heard much
shooting
of
a
Donald
basketball
Trump.
Here and there.
Trust me, he's shooting a basketball here and there. Donald Trump, we're gonna see him, bro. We're gonna see him on live television talking crud.
Bro,
I think he might even tell us about the aliens.
Run-ups on stage like Kanye, bro. How Biden's doing a speech.
Trust.
I'm gonna let y'all finish in a minute.
Yeah. But I had the best presidency run of all time.
Oh, that's coming. That's actually coming. That is so coming. I think, you know what? You're absolutely right. I think he's gonna be probably Biden's most tough critic because he's gonna be doubting and mentioning everything. Like, I would have done this. I would have done that. I should be the president.
4 years of fire tweets, man. Fire tweets, man.
Twitter fingers to the max.
I want to see if he's gonna be like on media platforms as much as when he was cussing them, because the man was shouting fake news. Boy, the way he can't be moving mad if he's on all these news.
Oh, no, he can. He will move mad. This is Donald Trump.
He might go back and do The Apprentice again, bro.
1000%. He's gonna be there, and he's gonna every reference is when I was the president, I had to make tough decisions like this, and doing all types of bullshit, man.
Oh, that's so funny.
But as you can see, Joe is not doing that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just praying Joe Biden can make it through the 4 years, bro. That nigga old.
Nah, he'll be alright. I mean, Trump had COVID and they kept him alive, and they lied to us about that.
Yeah, man.
That was the biggest.
Bro, whatever treatment they're giving,
Trump said,
they'll give
Trump
Joe Biden.
said, I'm built different. How about you guys?
What a guy said. Man was calm in 4 days.
Hey, no, that guy's been he's been pure comedy. I can't lie. He's given us moments, boy. Oh my goodness, that guy is something, man. That guy is something.
That's it, inspirational. Wow. No, but it's actually crazy because we spoke about this before, Dan, when he was first getting elected. Before he actually became president, Donald Trump got mad love from the black hip community and the hip hop community.
Yeah,
he was the guy. Everybody wants to be like Donald. No, honestly, go back and listen to the references. Trump was
lyrical references to
in the
Trump.
90s. In the 90s and early 2000s. Yep, a lot of rappers. Yeah, man.
A lot of rappers had love for Trump. 100.
Didn't Mac Miller have the tune? I'm sure he had a tune called Donald Trump.
God knows.
Yeah, he did.
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, that's
how times change.
Where he fucked up
Fresh Prince, let alone, bro.
He was on Fresh Prince, yeah.
What
Bro,
we saying,
he was
Trump
out here
for the
with Bobby
culture.
Lashley and Vince McMahon, bruv, on WrestleMania, shaving niggas' hairs, bruv. This guy was out here, bro.
That's true.
Well, that guy was a president, you know. What a wild time.
Now we've got a half-dead human person, bro.
No, come on, man. Don't count out Joe like that, man. Leave him alone.
Joe's got one foot in the grave, bruv.
Yeah, he ain't even stepped into office and man are cancelling him already, bro.
I ain't cancelling him. I
put him half dead.
Because he's half dead, bro.
Anyway, on to more pressing matters.
Man, them sounding like they missed Trump already, bro.
Trust me,
Chris.
I tell you, this Uncle Ruckus thing is flying right now.
When Joe Biden got elected, someone tweeted, cool, now we can go back to the racism that I grew up on.
I saw that. That was hilarious.
That's outrageous.
Which is sad. Which is real sad.
Shout him and Kamala Harris, man. Kamala, my hopes are on you, man. I can't lie. But I'm sure...
Sus.
I'm sure you lot... Who is sus?
Bruv, she locked up there, man, them, fam. She's sus, man.
Yeah, no, she is, but, bruv, what else? Who else is there?
Well,
Joe Biden, who was part of the cabinet.
Kanye West, he wants to be president to redesign the suits, fam.
Yeah, bro.
Give me.
Come fly for your guy,
They could do with a redesign. I hear him.
All he wants to do is put everyone in Yeezys, bruv. That's what he wants to do, bruv.
Anyways,
support Kanye.
I see. Wegz is backing it, bruv. That's why he wants to change subject. See?
Nah. Because I don't know why we got into this, boy. This is a mad thing. I'm sure everyone must have at this stage seen the incident that happened in the PSG game against Istanbul Basaksheir about, I think it was the fourth official that racially I'm gonna say tried to describe. I think he's assistant manager for Istanbul.
Who did Weber play for? I know him. Yeah, go on.
What exactly did he say?
So I don't know how he got to it initially, but he's basically trying to tell the referee to send off. I can't remember the guy's name.
Weber.
Yeah, Weber, that was it. He was trying to get him sent off because he must have done something on the bench, or like he must have been out of technical error or something like that. But then when he came over, he described him as a negro. And I think that's what kicked everything off.
Wait. Hola,
C'est chaud, c'est toujours très chaud et c'est carton rouge pour... Alors il y a un problème, il y a un adjoint d'Okanmuru qui estime qu'il a été insulté par le quatrième arbitre avec le terme de négro, c'est ce qu'on entend, Mohamed.
C'est ça, oui, l'un des agents du staff de Basaksheir qui dit que le quatrième arbitre lui a dit négro. Voilà.
Il est exclu par l'arbitre vidéo à Tegan. Le quatrième arbitre, c'est un arbitre roumain.
There's a little nuance in that. So basically, I think the official team for the game was from Romania, and when they were speaking in Romanian to describe who he was, and then obviously, I think the word for black in Romanian is negru. So I think when he said that, that's what he heard, and he's like, "Hold on, why are you calling me negro?" Negro. Obviously, he didn't understand, but even at the time, the fact of he used that word to be like this, to be specifically like that black guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What I love though, first and foremost, what I love is Demba Ba. Protect Demba Ba at all costs, because Demba Ba was sticking it on him. He was sticking it on the ref like nah, because he came and gave it a very, very valid opinion, regardless of whether you said, if you'd said book this guy, why are you saying book this black guy?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You pointed out the fact that he's black. You wouldn't have said that if he was white. You would have just said book this guy. But because he's black, you're pointing that out as in you're now sticking the extra racial element into it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, I think even the whole answer of negro is black and Romanian, this, that, the other, I'm not trying to hear that. At the end of the day, there's no point. Yeah, as a referee or an official,
they have shirt numbers. Like
yeah, exactly. And even then, it's not even about shirt numbers, because he's a manager who was on the bench. So it's not even a player. You could literally go and stand next to the man and say, this is the one you need to send off. There's no need to, you know what I mean? This man is who you need to send off. Coach Weber or whatever his name is, or, you know what I mean? Know who they are. If you're official, you should know everybody's name, shouldn't you? That's the bottom line of a game. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, it's one of those things where it seems like racism keeps on rearing its ugly head in the modern game here and there. And with all the campaigning, it's not making no difference.
At least they had the right response for once.
Yeah, true, that was the players. That was the players.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
It's Mbappe. It was Mbappe. Like I heard the audio of Mbappe saying, "Bruv, like we can't play. I can't play with this guy's fourth official. Like it's done." And that I really respect. As you said, it was the right thing to do. It needs to be unity. Like both teams need to be like, bruv, we can't stand this. We're walking off. That's what needs to happen when it happens in games. And it's nuts, yeah. We're in COVID. There's no fans. You would have thought we would have heard this, but there's no fans. But it was the fourth official, them who are employed to, look after the players, etc. That happened. That's what makes it even worse as well. Like it's not like there's 60, 70,000 fans hell in abuse. It's a fourth official, so.
Yeah, what's even crazier about that? Because I had that game and I was watching the Man United game, but obviously they started talking about it, saying, it's been postponed.
Get into that later.
No, we won't.
But what was even crazier about like the halftime adverts on the UEFA coverage was there was adverts about say no to racism.
I hate them adverts.
Do you know how wild that is?
Oh shit, bro.
Regardless of whether but the irony of it, say no to racism, but a game has literally just been postponed because one of your refs.
Do you think that they have like internally within that referees commission, whatever? Do you feel like they have like training on how to properly describe people? Because that thing, like to play devil's advocate, the way it went down, I can understand how it went down like that. Do you get me? But then you should just know better. You should know better to not do that, because especially in the times in whatever, like it's a possible mistake to make. Do you get me? And like there's a part of me that doesn't think that this guy should lose his job outright or whatever, but it's a case of saying you should know better in that kind of situation. And I think that's down to whatever governing body is teaching these people how to officiate their game.
Nah, man, we're being too sympathetic. That's too sympathetic. That's way too sympathetic. I feel like, especially in the time we're in now, we need to make an example of this done. I think what Tevin said is key. Obviously, yes, you're saying it in his language, but the fact that that's in your language is problematic in itself. So yes, UEFA should do a better job of educating these men, etc. But the fact that he said it in times like this, where we're taking a knee in football, bruv, you gotta go. We need to make an example of you.
Yeah, no, I'm not disputing that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not disputing that, but I'm saying like you're gonna get let's say this guy loses his job, he gets rid of this guy, innit? Somebody else is gonna come and make the same mistake, and then somebody else is eventually gonna come and make the same mistake. At a certain point, you need to be like, who's training these people? What governing body is training these people? Maybe there's courses or whatever they need to send them on for appropriate language, how to describe people in a situation like that, what to do, what to say. Do you get me? Because I don't feel like these people are necessarily bad mind people. I just think they're a bit ignorant. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So where's the teaching? That's what we need to start doing.
I hear you with the teaching part. My thing is that I saw something get tweeted to like Gary Lineker. Like all broadcasters and all like UEFA officials and whatnot before the game, they get given who's going to be there or for both teams, like the assistant manager, the physio, all of their names and stuff like that. They have all the names and whatnot. Obviously, the players have their names on the back of their t-shirts, so it's easier, so they don't really have to worry about them. But with the assistant managers, they can say, oh, you can send off, if you don't know that person's name, if you remotely can't remember his name, the assistant manager, because you've had like 2 or 3 days to prepare before that game, to just read up on people's names, and they have to. So like when commentators describe people's names for the first time, and sometimes they butcher them for the first, like their debut or something. Someone could say that, someone like Bergwijn, they could say that Bergwijn or something like that. They can get that wrong on the first attempt. That's cool. But in terms of like they have to prep themselves. That's part of their job, to prep themselves. And the fact that he described them by his race, for me, is outrageous.
What I'm saying is what is the governing body doing to stop these things from happening? Because my point is it's going to happen again inevitably. I'm telling you now, this kind of thing is going to keep happening until there's somebody that's actually saying to these people.
I'm surprised you think that.
I still go back to, isn't that the point of shirt numbers, bro? Like,
how do you mean? For players?
You're referring
obviously
to
not enough though, isn't it?
If you're going to be like, if you're saying send off, I'd be like send off number 10. Number 8, isn't that why they have numbers? That's why.
No fairness, this was a member of the technical staff. It wasn't.
But even that,
you can see their numbers. No, am I being dumb?
The manager don't have a number.
Technical staff don't have numbers. The
most even that year, you'd say.
Oh, he wasn't referring to a player.
No, it wasn't. It was Weber. Even that, you'd say the assistant coach or so and so. You wouldn't say
Even if you go and stand next to my guy and be like this guy, then
that's literally what I said. Like stand next to him. It's not like, do you know what I mean?
Or even flipping it. Okay, yes, it could be considered a bit rude, but we've seen it when we play. Bro, point at him. Yeah, that guy. You don't need to go. Oh yeah, that black guy. Like, bro, there's no need for that. It kind of shows his kind of mindset of where he was trying to go and describing him by his race. But I said credit to the players for walking off. To be honest, like
I think that person should get banned for life. As in,
exactly. That's part.
It's not about ignorance or anything. If you really believe and you want to stamp it out, that's a mistake he made. He didn't follow protocol. He didn't read up on people's names. He could have described them in a safer manner. For me, you gotta go. That's it. That's the bottom line. And then the thing is, you say that it's gonna happen again. All right, cool. That person, if it happens again, this is what happened before. You get sacked as well. That's your learn. That's how you learn.
What I'm saying is that you can't. At a certain point, if the same mistake keeps happening, at a certain point you've got to sit down again. What are we doing to stop this from happening? Because the punishment is obviously not enough. Do you get me? This is my point. What are the government bodies doing to make sure these type of things don't keep happening?
This is the situation. I understand what you're saying. You're saying if it keeps on happening and if referees or something like that keep using language like that, then yeah. But in the first instance that we've seen something like this, you throw the book. So you let referees across the world know, like, or anybody officiating, educate yourself. Like, don't let yourself come in. There shouldn't be a thing, or even you shouldn't let it come to a situation where we now have to step in and do something. You should be in a position where you accurately describe other people, or you understand who's on the team and you call them by their first names. Don't use their race to be what you use to differentiate them.
Yeah, 100%.
Because like I said, Demba Ba had an accurate point. If it was another white player, he wouldn't say book the white coach. He'd be like, book this one or book coach, whatever. But it's quicker just to say, just the black one. What?
That's it.
Come on, man. But another thing I wanted to pick out in this as well is I did not appreciate Michael Richards coming up to defend the referee in lifetime
Oh, no, he took it back after, by the way.
No, he took it back after, but it's the fact of, okay, let me explain. This is a live situation where players who are there in the zone have said, do we feel this is a racist language, blah, 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 we're walking off, we're not playing. Everyone. You are sat in a studio and now you are here to say, oh, I'm going to play devil's advocate. If someone called me the black one in a room full of white people, I wouldn't mind. Oh, shut up, man.
Yeah, true. And especially you can't be saying that in front of other white people as well. You look nuts.
You know what I mean? You start to sympathize, you desensitize other people's pain. Just because you feel that's okay doesn't mean everybody feels it's okay. And do you know why he took it back? Because everyone told him he was wrong.
Yeah,
that's why. You know what I mean? It's not because he took it back because I feel differently. No, everyone just told you you're a dickhead for what you said, and now you know you feel like a dickhead. You've been educated by other people, and now you're talking it back. Do you know what I mean?
And fuck John Barnes as well, because he's the top coon. Straight up.
Did he speak on it as well?
Bruv, oh my
God.
He
probably will have an opinion.
And his Twitter thread was nuts.
Was it?
Nuts.
He was talking out of his ass, bruv. He was basically saying, it's in his language. If that's how they speak, no one should take offense to it.
I wouldn't get offended.
Why is he always running to save these people, bro?
I don't know, man. I want to know what they did to him in Liverpool, man. They did something.
No, Dwain, I know you respect him as a football player, but I'm sorry, he's done. He's done for my mind. He's done.
You know what it is with John Barnes? Yeah, we see this over and over, and you know what they do? Yeah, they start to call him on these media platforms to describe racism because they know what they're doing. They're trying to get an ally, and it's like, Barnes, relax, like stop this
for a paycheck.
Like, bro, like it's nuts. Like the brainwashing on his part is crazy because every incident he feels he has to step up. But when I see man on Good Morning talking about it, I'm like, bruv, stop this. Somehow Good Morning always find these coons to to align what they say. Somehow they find them. You could it's annoying, bruv. It's annoying. But
I just feel like I don't get why he feels the need to say anything. Even if you do disagree, just keep your mouth shut. Why do you always feel like you need to step up to back the racist?
Yeah, who came together to put him in a position where he's now the spokesperson for black people?
Good morning, bro.
No one's making the
for him to talk on my behalf. I don't know why my man
talk and them thing there, bro. You know?
Hear me?
He's an idiot, bro.
You know when white people go, I'm not racist. I got a black friend, John Barnes.
Barnes. Yeah.
John Barnes.
It's very nuts. It's very nuts.
But surely the language needs to change, bro.
You see, I did think.
I mean, in the terms, there's such a stigma attached to that word or using that type of terminology that I just feel like other countries should acknowledge this.
Yeah,
it's very true, but I feel like they just don't want to change.
Yeah, I know. No, I agree. I'm saying they should. I agree with that, but they should. I feel like
I would love to know where the origins of that word came into their languages. I would love to know how it started because the languages is different, isn't it? So words would have come from Latin, it would have derived from somewhere else. Where did the word negro?
In a lot of languages, negro is because there's a root word like from Latin, like you're right, it comes from
Latin or Spanish or something.
Many languages. The word for black is negro or negro or whatever, like in many languages.
Like I said, but it's one of those things I think.
Like I said, it's the stigma attached to it now. It doesn't matter where it originates from. It's the fact of how it's been used.
Yeah.
So I don't give a damn if it comes from Latin or space, bro. Just stop using it.
Adapt to something else.
This is where because the word black, I could say black, and I could use that word if I wanted to offensively to somebody. I could use black in a sentence.
Yeah, obviously tone comes into it.
It's nuances.
Yeah, I feel like saying any word that has negra, N-E-G-R in it or anything close to that should be banned. Like I think like that's a bit too extreme. I think the idea is just you knowing how to describe people, what to use in the right way, because I can say black, do you get me? I can describe somebody as black. That doesn't have to be a racial thing, do you get me? The same way, like if in your country, the word for black is negro, that doesn't now mean that you have to stop using the word, find a different word for the word black. It's just understand when it is.
Oh, no, find a different word.
I disagree.
I disagree. Find a different word because Dan's right. There's a stigma attached to it. Even when you go back to the history of that word, that's attached to when I think the Portuguese or Spanish landed in Africa to collect slaves anyway. So there is a stigma attached to negro and that that word. So yeah,
it's not the same as saying.
It's not
black.
the same. Yeah, it's not the same as saying black.
Exactly.
You saying negro, you're denouncing that person. You're denouncing.
I can use any. My point is that you're talking about, because the word negro, whatever, that's all context. Do you get me? The only word that I can say is offensive to a black person is the word nigger. And even that word now depends on what
I
mouth
disagree.
from. The word for black, like, do you get me? I can use black in a negative context, and it's gonna sound negative. Do you get me? Like you're basically what you're basically saying is that every language that has the word neg in the word for black, change that word to a different word.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
That's fucking silly. That's never gonna happen.
That's not silly.
But we're not. No, we're not.
That's not silly at all, bro.
But we're not saying. We're not saying it's not gonna happen. What we're saying is the stigma attached to that word,
bro.
And it links to
But the stigma is attached.
Do you know why this is so dumb? Because
it's not attached to the word nigger.
But Chris, there was a time when nigger was relatively acceptable, and now it's not. I don't see why it's so different to say that for nigger.
Because nigger is one language.
Yeah, I'm saying the word has been taken and used in a certain way. Black, it's not the same, bro.
Facts.
I understand.
I'm not saying it's the same, but okay. But my point is that their word for black is negro.
Yeah, but they've used it in history. Those countries have used that word in a negative sense. Bro.
Yeah,
my point is you can take any word and use it in a negative sense. What you're basically saying is the word you use.
Some words are stronger than others.
Some words are stronger. Chris, you're missing the point.
I'm not missing the point. I'm not missing the point. What you're basically saying is that every country that has neg in their language for the word black should change the word they're using. Do you get me? So now if you're offended by the word black, shall we now stop using the term black?
That's what I'm saying. That's different though.
No,
because
why is it different? Because the word is nigger. The offensive word is nigger. And even that's an English word.
That's what I'm saying. The word negro, as I said, is attached to when the Portuguese came into Africa and it was to slaves. It was to announce that. So already that has a negative connotation. It's just now that it's been in European language, it has a negative connotation. You can't keep it. They've just attached it to the word black. But me calling you or a white person calling you a negro, there's a negative connotation to that. You are denouncing that person's value. It links back to slavery.
Let me just ask Chris.
We know what happened with slavery. You can't use, like, that word shouldn't be normal. It's that now people are awakening to that. As Daniel said, like, there was a time, it's the same with America, with nigger. That was used for slavery as well. Now it's not acceptable. It's the same with negro. That was used for slavery as well. It shouldn't be acceptable in European countries. Like, it shouldn't. And us asking for it to be changed.
My thing is, I don't find the word for black in another language offensive. I find the word nigger offensive. If somebody used that word to specifically single me out in a group of other people, I would find that offensive. But again, that's
Chris,
context.
That's because you don't speak those languages, let alone if you were from Romania, somebody referred to you. No, I don't, Chris. But at the end of the day, Chris, let me put it into a language that you agree with. So if somebody came into the room and said, "Listen, can you speak to that Negro gentleman in the corner over there?" How you gonna feel about that?
Yeah, but that's in English.
Because you understand it.
Because you understand the connotation of negro.
Again, that's the context. That's the context.
Bro, even negro was used in the US, bro.
The word for black in German is Schwarz. So if somebody says Schwarz in a different context, that's not racial. Should I be offended by that word? Someone comes to me and goes, "Look at this Schwarzer," then obviously I'm going to be offended because they're using that to contextually call me a black person. But the word Schwarz, which is the same word as negro, black, it's just different languages. It's not offensive. Do you know what I'm trying
to say? So let's say you walk into a pub then, and then someone speaks to someone and says, "Oh, can you go over there and serve that black customer?" Are you comfortable with that?
That's context. That's context. That's not the word black. The word black isn't what offended me, because if I hear the word black in a completely different context, I'm not going to be offended. But if you use that word specifically to single me out, that's when it becomes a problem.
But then that's the situation that's in hand, because he used the word black in his language.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Contextually, that's what my point. That's my overall point. We need to think about how we're using words and what they mean in certain situations.
But I think what Dwain and Dan are saying is that the word needs to have some thought process of changing it, because there is offense to it. And whether people understand the language or not, there's offense to that word. And
if people, in America, what I'm saying is, sorry, but I'm saying if people have said it's offensive and find it offensive, I don't know why it's a mad thing to say, stop using that word. There's so many words and terms in history that we have stopped using over time because it caused people offensive. Look at half caste, look at Oriental. Yeah, there's loads of stuff. So I don't know why you think it's such a mad thing for them to stop.
I'm saying what you're basically,
what
I hear you're saying to me,
I don't know
everywhere in the world, everybody has to change the word they use for black if that word has negro in it.
If it has strong negative connotations from one of the biggest, most horrible side of humanity, then yes.
Yes, because
I don't think everyone.
Just like the UK and the US stopped using negro to describe, because Negro was a very widely accepted term in the 60s, 70s, etc., and they stopped using it because of its negative connotations. I don't know why other countries shouldn't stop using that when it causes a reaction, like in PSG. So I don't understand why you're backing this and why you're so.
I'm trying to get you to think of a bigger picture, right?
No, I know what you're saying. It's
the problem isn't words. You're arguing about words. I'm arguing about context.
Look how they were reacting, and that word there's a stigma to it. I'm saying that people are going to react when they hear that.
It doesn't matter about the context, bro. It doesn't matter about the context.
The reason why there was a problem.
Why is it always...
The context that word was used was the reason. Because if that guy was saying, oh, black car, and he said negro car or whatever, no one's going to be like, he said, I'm trying to say. It's because of the context of the word.
But you know what it is? With the stigma attached to the word, I don't understand why it's always black people that we have to have this sympathetic, man, I'm not offended. No. When it comes to Jewish people, there's certain things you cannot say. When it comes to gay people, there's certain things you cannot say. When it comes to people in Asia, there's certain things to cannot say. Why is it now we're talking about this as an allowance? Or there's no. If the word has a negative connotation, stop using it. It is literally as simple as that. If the biggest power in the... No, I'm saying in the...
If it was as simple as that, it would have happened. That's what I'm saying.
Because if America and the UK can stop using the term negro, as Daniel said, because of the stigma, why can't other... Evidently, yes, we know they don't want to. Yes, but my thing is that in other communities, when you're being offensive, that there's none of this grey area shit. There's none. It's only for black people, and we need to stop that. We need to stop this. Man, if you no. If the word is come from slavery, and we know what happened in slavery, stop using the word. It's as simple as that. That's how it should be. There should be none of this grey area shit when we're like, yeah, man, like if you use this black or no. We shouldn't even have to explain ourselves. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, all I'm saying, in that case, we should all stop using the word black, regardless of the context, because it's the same. Black is black. A lie. Black is because we're arguing about their word for black. That's what I'm saying.
You've missed the point.
I've not missed the point. That's exactly what you're saying. Because black. How many times have people used black to offend black people before? You can use that word to offend black people as much as you like, but we'll never stop saying let's ban the word black outright. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I don't know what you're trying to say. I don't know what you're trying to say.
People to think about words or language is silly. You should get things about context to think before they speak. That's what we should be getting people to do.
Nah, I'm saying we only allow this when it comes to black people. I don't see when you call a gay person the F-bomb, I don't see there's no grey area, Jewish people or whatnot. It's only us.
No, but that's a specific, that F word is a specifically offensive word.
Yes, that has a negative
That's a specific slur. The word black is not a slur.
I don't. Well, man, we're just gonna go around in circles, bro.
There was a lot of points said here.
Okay, but let me ask you another. Sorry, this is just a play. I don't want to use it devil's advocate. But Chris, if you call someone a homo, is that offensive?
Yes, that's a specifically offensive.
But homo is short for homosexual, isn't it?
Yes, it is. But homo is a specific. We all know that's a context, and again, that's contextual now. If somebody was sat in my living room, for example, and I decided to bring up the fact that person was a homosexual just because, that's offensive. Do you understand? Because contextually, there's no.
So bringing up the fact that somebody's black just because, is that not offensive to them?
Of course that's offensive, but that's the context in which you're using it. Now that's the context in which, because the word black is not offensive. The word black is not offensive. The way you describe someone or what you describe that word is what makes it offensive. The word black is not offensive.
That's what we're saying, Chris. The fact that he described it as a...
I said the same thing. I just said it's the context, not the word. It's the context.
So the context of this situation was he used his color.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I never disagreed with that. I never sat here and disagreed with that. I said all throughout the world, the word black is not offensive. It's the context we used it, and what we need to do is think about the context.
The word negro, any of that is still offensive, right? That's the conclusion I'm drawing to. Still all offensive. Yeah. It has a stigma. There's a reason they walked off the pitch. There's a reason they reacted the way they did. All of that shit is offensive. I don't care about context. I don't care if you call me a negro or whatnot, bro. It's.
I never want to hear anybody say black then again, because black is same thing, bro. It's the same.
Get off the stage.
This guy stinks.
Tomatoes, bro. Tomatoes raining on you, fam.
Huh?
Tomatoes raining, fam. Throw the tomatoes, bro.
Get off the stage. Anyway, speaking of black, hey, you don't watch the Mobos, music of black origin. No one? Was it me?
Nah, that's offensive, bro. They use the word black, so I can't.
Get out of here, man.
Get out of here, man. Bro. This guy stinks. Ooh, brother. This guy stinks.
This guy stinks.
I use the word black, so it's offensive, bro. I refuse to watch the Mobos. Black is an offensive word.
Right. Yeah. Chris, you're one of them guys who complains to Ofcom when trust John Barnes.
John Barnes in the building.
Chris Barnes.
I'm not finding that funny. Sorry, I'm not.